It's Animu time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the Figma number 138. It's Griffith from Berserk Berserk movie. Just Berserk movie. Whatever. It's Griffith. If no spoilers, but he's a little bit of a interesting character, let's say. I don't want to say anything bad about him. But yes, I'm getting into Berserk now because the figures look absolutely amazing, and it is one of the Figma specials. They've done a couple Berserk figures, and they're rolling out some more. I mean, you have Guts in like the Death Armor, whatever it was called. I don't remember the exact name right now, but that one has been delayed. But Griffith still has come out, so let's have a look at him right now. So first and foremost, I just want to have a look at the figure itself. We're going to have a look at the cape and all the good stuff, the helmet, I mean everything's in there, spoilers. Let's have a look at the size. He stands at about 15 centimeters to the top of his head, which is a little bit taller for Figmas in general. So that means he reaches almost up to 6 inches basically. Overall look of the figure, starting off with the face. He has the really feminine face, and they really nailed the eyes, I gotta say. I dig that. Also has the painted lips, and that's the entire gimmick of the character. Now the hair sculpt, for the most part, it looks good. It definitely looks accurate. I like the way they molded it, but I don't really agree with how many different pieces they kind of glued together, especially here in the back. Like what is this? Why is there like this part over here and then this falls off? His leg, yeah. His leg keeps falling off. This is the second time this has happened. The armor has a ton of detail, nice and shiny, metallic. There's also some shading in his collar, by the way. There's a little bit of light blue shading going on. That looks pretty good. I like shading. You guys like shading? Shading's pretty cool. I mean, the armor overall looks clean, but what's not so clean is the paint job in his belts that kind of go around his arms. The brown, as you can tell, it's not on the line. It's kind of bleeding off into the white on both sides, and you have a big smudge over there and another smudge. Like, it's just ugly. Then we got shoulder pads. Those are nicely done. I mean, all the armor stuff, I mean, the gold in here, that looks good, but everything under it, it's kind of meh. I love the fists with the knuckles on there. Has some big spikes, and as we go down to the figure, there's a lot of belts going on and holsters to hold on to his sword. Back to the butt, which is soft plastic, and the sword holster also looks really clean actually, with the silver in there and kind of like the dark blue going on. We got some more soft plastic. These plates are completely movable to not hinder your articulation. And then we got the one leg, because the other leg already said bye-bye. Once again, with the armor, looks nice, and the boots, kind of like the cowboy boots with the thing in the back, also good. So yeah, I mean, in general, the paint is good, except for really these parts. You got some shading also in the white, so that's cool, but what about that though? So for the articulation, we got some weird stuff. Starting off with the hat, it's pretty limited due to the hair. It goes forward, does go to the back, and it does tilt side to side. But I can't really get it to rotate. You hear the noise, I'm afraid it might break off. It's really, the hair, it is kind of soft plastic, but it still kind of scrapes over it. And the thing is, you really have to rotate it at the big ball joint, because the other ball joint kind of goes into his hair instead of his head, and it's always just weird. And the leg keeps falling off, by the way. I can't keep that on. We got the double ball combination for the shoulder. That's classic Figma stuff. So it goes up to like 45 degrees, but the soft plastic shoulder pieces will move out of the way. Well, this is not soft plastic, but this part over here is. So you can't really force it, but it will get pushed down if you try to go further than 45 degrees. Has some rotation in it, and as far for the wiggle motion, it's all really stiff. That's the problem I have. So this shoulder seems to be working a lot better. Can bring it forward, can bring it to the back. That's alright. Then we got a simple ball hinge in there, in the shoulder, which also you can rotate it at a certain angle, but be careful because I'm really afraid it might break off. Stuff like that has happened before. For the hand, you got the old school hinge, which is just pegged in, no ball joint yet. I mean, this is the old stuff, which you still can rotate around, bring it back and forth. It's not as mobile as a ball joint, but it gets the job done. For the chest area, same problem. You're not really getting anything out of it. It's just a ball hinge with a peg on it, and you could pull it out a little bit to get just a teeny tiny bit more, but it's just not great. Also, doesn't go around. Well, it does go around. You just have to force it a little bit, but it's pretty blunt with all the stuff that's going on. Now for the legs, those go forward nicely if they stay on. Yeah, the armor parts over here are not a hindrance at all. This is like super soft. This is super floppy. So you can get some pretty decent kicking poses, but I feel like the leg's already trying to get out of the socket with all the soft plastic in there. Goes out to the side very nicely, and it does actually go to the back. Really adjusts nicely once again if it stays on. Oh, you have another piece in there that kind of rotates with it. Oh, it's already off. Never mind. So he has lag problems, but okay. You got some rotation in this part or not? Actually, no. Well, I think it moves, but it's like super stiff. Yeah, you can move it around, but it's just like I'm trying to do this with 2 hands here, and I'm still not really getting much out of it. For the knee part, let's just do it like that. It's super wonky. Knee has a good articulation. The knee pad over here, as you can see, it is just floating in there, so it wiggles a little bit around, but it doesn't hinder it at all. Let me see. Can I pull this down? Yeah, you kind of can. So yeah, it looks clean, looks nice, just a ball hinge. And then for the foot, another ball hinge, goes back, forward, does tilt side to side, and does go all the way around, always a little bit in an angle, but it's okay. So for the accessories, it's quite basic, to be honest. We got one angry face, kind of looking a little bit to the side, and then you got the helmet, which I'm liking. I'm going to put that one on, which yeah, you just slide the face in there, I think. Well, I'm gonna have a look at that later. Then we got his sword, which is very nicely painted. I don't get it. How do you make this nice, thin, golden line so clean, but then you screw it up if you have to make some brown lines on his outfit, which are much thicker. It's just like I don't understand. This looks really good. Then we got the hands. You got 2 holding hands, and then 2 more grappling hands. And these do a little bit more posing, and kind of sort of pointy finger, but not really. And you got these completely open hands in the plastic. Actually, let me show the back of these real quick, because it's nice and shiny. I like shiny. But yeah, his gloves looks really cool. And then you got still the base. I mean, it's out of the shot right now, as usual. Figma base, always included with all the Figmas. And finally, you have the cape, which is real cloth, and I like that. Some people don't, except for like the shoulder piece. It is plastic, hard plastic. Well, no, it is kind of soft plastic. But yeah, I like the cloth cape. Some people do, some people don't. There's no Y in it, so you can't pose it, and I think that's a huge turnoff for some people once again. But I'm not really hating it. I rather have this than like big, thick plastic. That's just. And you got the Figma back. Haha. So that's gonna do it. That's gonna bring me to the final thoughts. And by the way, yes, I kind of tiptoed around it, and I never really said it. This is indeed a re-release, and as such, I think he's okay. It's still an overall good-looking figure. He has the paint issues in the brown, but for the rest of it, he looks good. And the articulation really hasn't that changed much for Figma. It's really Figma does standard articulation for most figures, and sometimes they do a little bit more nifty stuff with characters where they have more leeway. With Griffith, that's like the 2 negatives really, the sloppy, kind of sloppy paint job on the brown, and the fact that his articulation is not the greatest. So overall, this figure is still okay. If you like Griffith, if you like this design, I can still recommend it. But for everybody else, it's just like I'm saying, it's okay. It's not really a waste of money. There's nothing really, really bad about it, but it's not really blowing me away at the same time. So I'm settling in the middle and I'm going okay. So that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Griffith wants.